is that once upon a time there was a mother of a U.S. Army serviceman who was killed in Vietnam War, and an army person came to the home and tell to the mother, "Oh mother, I have a very bad news that your son is killed in Vietnam. I'm very sorry to tell you. I'm very, very sorry to tell you." Now that she's a mom, okay, and what would be happened after that happened? The mom become insensitive. Mom become with huge pain to become a painless. She become still. Now she is no longer sense anything. She is overwhelmed in pain. She took this as the everything, and she made herself almost like a die, because her prestigious son is killed in a war, and she can't believe it. She is not accepting it, and now this is a huge burden on her. And now she is no longer eating anything. She is not sleeping. Maybe sleep sometime in the night for a quick nap. She's becoming, you can imagine, she's in apathy. We call this situation, psychological situation, a medical condition, apathy. And because she is also living with her daughter, with her daughter's husband as well. All are very, very concerned about her health, because she is not accepting her son's death. And now what is happening because of this, she stays for longer time. 10 days passed. 5 and 5, 10 days is a big time. From 10 days, she is mourning. She is in grief. She is bereavement state of consciousness. But something happens. After 10 days, they got a telegram. Her daughter got a telegram and learned from the telegram, actually her brother or the mother's son actually is alive. He is not dead. Because of the computer mistake, his son name and the identity number was very similar with another serviceman who actually was killed. And because of the computer one typo error, they thought her son was dead. And because her sister became overjoyed, "Oh my God, my brother is still alive. I can't believe it. Let's go." And she ran towards mom and said, "Mother, look, your son is alive. Look, it was just a computer mistake." Look what happens. You could not imagine that the mother did not move, because she has gone longer into the grief. Now she cannot come back. Even she is hearing a great news. It's not like that she's not hearing anything, because she is in a condition where she just has gone in the deep pain. So now no longer there is enjoyment. She does not have capacity because she did not accept the event before, okay, and she did not surrender before. She did not accept the bad news and she stayed it longer, and now Her inner self now got dispersed and complex and psychotic. Now she is no longer enjoying the truth of the news, and that is the problem. When we stay in crisis for longer, then we basically make ourselves destroy. So we lose basically a capacity, a tendency to enjoy the happiness which will come in your life anymore. So that is because we do not have learning about how to surrender the bad news, or surrendering the situation. That's why now she is in still coma type of condition, and this is a true incident by Dr. David Hawkins, and that because she was a patient of Dr. David Hawkins, who is the writer of the book. He has referred this incident. Oh, let's learn something. Basically, Dr. David Hawkins, who is the author of this wonderful book, Healing and Recovery. So he says in this context of this incident, what's so changing the circumstances in the outer world is not necessarily going to change the upset, because it has started a process. It is the process that has to be handled. But that lady didn't handle it very well by surrendering into the situation. He writes further, we cannot accept the circumstances that have happened in our life. What we can do is accept and surrender to the fact that one has to bite the bullet and be with the situation right now. It means right now in present moment. So basically that woman refused to surrender when she heard that news that her son is killed. So this shocking news made her in apathy state of conscious. And obviously there are consequences. This is because the mind looks in the wrong direction and says, if I could only change the circumstances of the event out there, then I would feel all right. So basically it is the dilemma and the tragedy of human psychology that we wait for something external happened in order to change myself, in order to change my inner growth. So lot of people, almost 99% people, they wait something, some event, something, some situation or circumstances to be changed externally from outside them, and then after they will change their own inner self. But this never happened, unfortunately, because your inner growth, your inner peace does not depend or must not depend on external any reality. But this woman or lady thought exactly like this, that if she heard the good news, then her inner self would be in peace and calm. But actually it didn't happen. So that is the bad news for many people. Never wait for circumstances to change. Your mind is very tricky and very egoic. You have to be very careful, because the moments of peace or the clarity never arrive when the mind is misled. Just like a mother who could not even smile upon hearing that her son was alive actually. because her consciousness had dropped into a state of apathy, blocking her from feeling of joy or relief. And that happens when, after a long experience of tragedy, people even have a lot of opportunity to enjoy or hear the good news, but they never feel happier. This is a dilemma of human condition. So, because lack of surrendering to the situation and staying and stick with the past, stick, and that is very terrible. Because the real suffering is not in the event, it is in the internal process triggered by it. The mind says, if only things were different, I would be okay. But peace does not come from fixing outside. True healing begins with when we stop running and surrender to experience itself. And this is narrated by Dr. David Hawkins in his book about the event. So what we can do, we need to surrender and surrender well, and need to learn art of surrendering, because in that surrender, when the resistance dissolve, when this unacceptance dissolve, grace enters, and from silence comes peace deeper than understanding. Don't wait for the world to change. Invite presence in your pain. That's where the real miracle happens. Just surrender in all situations. And you only can surrender when you're living in present. And you no longer part of past, any traumatic, any tragedy, any bad experience you could have, or at the same time with the future as well. So living in the present is the greatest gift. So there is another great news. And what is that news? Healing is not found in changing the past, but in surrendering to the present. Let go, be with what it is. Peace is waiting within you. Within you.